G'day everybody and welcome back to a brand new video on the YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be going through which teams I think is going to win this round in round 10 and how much I think they're going to win by. If you guys enjoy this video, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when new videos are coming out. I haven't been feeling the greatest lately, but I'm going to still try to push out these videos for you guys to watch. Enough wasting your time, let's get straight into it. Before we get into the tipping, I'm just going to quickly go through all the games that I got incorrect last week. I chose Geelong over Port Adelaide. Overall, Geelong have just been the better side all year, so I was actually quite shocked to see Port Adelaide get the job done, but I guess Port Adelaide have definitely proved themselves that they are a real side and that they are definitely going to put up a great fight in the end of this season. I got Freo v Swans wrong. Even though Freo haven't been great the last few weeks, I just really did not believe that Freo were going to lose. Freo usually play really well at Optus, and even though Sydney have been a really great side this year, I just did not see them getting the job done against Freo. I also got Hawks v Saints wrong. Out of all the games that I could have tipped Hawks to win this year, I just did not think this was going to be one of them. I knew the Saints were going to have a pretty poor season this year, but I just did not see them losing to the Hawks. The next game I got wrong was Bombers v Giants, and even though the Bombers have had a great season this year and haven't lost since round 4, I actually didn't see them getting the job done against the Giants. In my opinion, I thought the Giants had a better season overall, but I guess the Bombers just got the better of them, and the Bombers obviously got the job done by 20 points. Starting off the round on a Thursday, we've got Suns v Cats at TIO Stadium. So far, the best team that the Suns have been able to beat this year is the Crows back in round 1, so it'll be quite interesting to see how they go versus a team that's actually pretty good. Ever since the Cats lost their first game back around 8, it just seems like they haven't been playing too great. The Cats lost to Melbourne in round 8 and to Port last week by under a goal. But I just don't see the Cats losing this one, so I'll tip them by 30 points. On the Friday, we've got Sydney v Blues at the SCG. So far, the Swans have only lost one game, which was in round 3 against the Tigers. And at the moment, the Blues' last 2 games were decided by under a goal. We actually do need to realise the downfall of Carlton. I mean, they had a great start to the season and now they're currently sitting at 7th on the ladder. And if I was the Blues, I'd definitely be really scared because so far the Swans haven't lost a home game. So I'm actually going to tip the Swans by 20 points. Starting for Saturday, we've got Pies v Crows at the MCG. So far the Pies haven't lost a game since round 2 against the Saints. And the Pies are going to have some of their best players out, being Jamie Elliott, Bo McCreary, Brody Mychek, and they're likely to have DeGoey and Tom Mitchell out, but it's still 50-50 whether or not they play this week. But some good news for the Pies is that they're having Lockie Schultz back from suspension. The Crows just put up a pretty good fight against the Brisbane Lions last week, which ended in a draw. And a week before that, they beat the Power, who could potentially be a really good side this year after they beat the Cats by a goal last week. Even though I think the Crows will put up a really good fight this week, I'm going to go the Pies by 12 points. Next game is the Dogs versus the Giants at the Sydney Showgrounds. Last week the Giants lost to the Bombers by 20 points and in round 5 the Dogs lost to the Bombers by 29 points. So far the Giants have played 2 games at the Sydney Showgrounds and both of them have been a win by quite high margins. The Dogs on the other hand are coming off a win with one of the highest margins all year so far, being 91 points. In my opinion, the Giants have had a better season than the Dogs so far this year, so I'm going to go the Giants by 21 points. Next game is Saints v Fremantle at Marvel Stadium. From memory, I believe the Saints have only won 3 games this year, and the Dockers have had a slightly better season with them winning 5 out of 9 games this year. This week we'll see a return of Freo's ruck, Sean Darcy, after he was out with a calf injury. The Saints so far have only won 2 home games this year, but they are still more familiar with Marvel Stadium with them playing there 3 times already this year, and Freo only playing there once. And even though it is the Saints home game, I still think Freo can get this one done by 12 points. Final game of the Saturday, we've got Lions v Tigers at the Gabba. The Tigers have had one of the worst starts to the season than any other team so far. The Lions, on the other hand, considering they were only 4 points away from winning a premiership last year, they now sit 13th on the ladder. The Lions put up a great fight last week away from home against Adelaide, which ended in a draw. And even though the Lions have only won 1 game at the Gabba this year, I still think they'll get it done and I'll go the Lions by 7 points. And final day of the round, starting off the Sunday, we've got Bombers v North at Marvel Stadium. At this point in time, it's looking like North won't even win a game this year unless they pull off a win against Richmond in round 21 or maybe even West Coast in round 13. The Bombers haven't lost a game since round 4 against Port Adelaide by 69 points. The Bombers sit at 3rd on the ladder going into round 10 and North currently sit at 18th. North are coming off a 68-point loss against the Suns last week, but the Bombers on the other hand are coming off a 20-point win against the Giants. I think it's safe to say that the Bombers should get this one done pretty comfortably, and I'm going to go the Bombers by 51 points. Second last game of the round, we've got Port v Hawks at Adelaide Oval. The Hawks have only played at Adelaide once this year, and that was in Gather Round. Adelaide, on the other hand, 6 out of 9 of their games have been at Adelaide Oval and 4 of them have been wins. Jordan Sweet is returning back to the Power side this week after being out with an illness last week. James Sicily is also making a return back to the AFL this week in Hawthorn's backline after being out with a shoulder injury. I think Port Adelaide's odds to win this one is very high, and I'm going Port by 39 points. Final game of the round, we've got Eagles v Demons at Optus Stadium. The Eagles so far have played 4 out of 9 games at Optus this year. The Eagles have won 2 games this year, and both of them being at Optus against Freo and Richmond. Melbourne, on the other hand, have won 6 games this year, and that was even with a bye back in round 6. Both of these sides are coming off a loss, with Melbourne losing to Carlton by 1 point and West Coast losing to the Pies by 66 points. To be fair, Melbourne have just been a better side overall this year, so I'm going to go Melbourne to get this one done by 51 points. Alrighty, and that is it for this week of tipping. Now, if you guys did enjoy, please feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when new videos coming out. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.